Hi everybody, welcome back. This is probably the last Temu mega haul that we will have for this year. It's all Christmas themed and with one or two exceptions, like this one for example, although you could maybe style it for Christmas. Absolutely beautiful little pot, round pot, and the detail in the lid is it's immense. Beautiful bee. And then look at this on the outside. You've got the hexagon shapes of the honeycomb effect on the outside of the pot here. Now it's good construction. It's good silicone. It's got the stabilizing bars in it as well. But look at that. I mean, there's so many different things you could do with this. You could dust those over with some gold mica. And then you could do a white resin. Would look beautiful, really stunning. Set yourself off, winter themed or summer themed perhaps. So here we go. We're just going to get prepped for the next one. Now, sneaky peek there. Christmas trees. Believe it or not, I have heard they're already selling mini Christmas tree versions in some of the well-known supermarkets. I mean, they are real, they're in pots, but I don't know about you. Do you have a real Christmas tree at Christmas time? Do you not have a tree? Do you celebrate Christmas? Do you have an artificial tree? We tend to go for artificial because we've got pets, and obviously we don't want the pine needles getting in our feet and getting in their feet as well. But there we go. So this is a lovely, lovely tree mould. This is its brother or sister. There we go. There's the two side by side. So you've got a tall, slender and a short, slightly stubby, fatter one, perhaps. A similar idea, similar sorts of patterns, lots of lovely detail there that you could do. You could dust it with green mica if you wanted, or just fill it with maybe some alcohol ink, some green perhaps, or different shades of green in some clear resin. Pour it in, a little bit of glitter, let it cure, and it's done. Lots of other options you could do there as well. But look at this. This is one of these lovely, I want to call it a Christmas totem pole, but it's a sign post. It's got welcome, then merry, then Christmas, and then of course ho ho ho. And then at the bottom I think you've just got some presents, and you've got one of our little friendly Christmas gnomes on the left there. So that is a lovely thing. It's actually supposed to stand up when it's cured. Now we would probably put this on a base that we'd make, or a nice piece of wood perhaps that you've just put a wax coat on, or clear varnish. Moving on, what does this mould remind you of? Mr. M, the mouse, perhaps. And then on this side you've got a bauble. Now this has got a lot of very fine detail in it. So not sure how the bauble one's going to work, and also not certain whether or not the other one's going to work, but it's a different kind of silicone. It is still silicone, but this is a matte mould, so be warned that your cured side will have a matte finish, so you might want to top it with maybe a little bit of UV resin. Now these are actually predominantly, these ones, when they're this colour, these moulds are supposed to be for sorry, excuse me, if you make chocolates or cake decorations, that sort of thing. But we don't do that. We're going to use it purely for resin. But look at this. Snow Christmas castles, perhaps from that, film beginning with an F, starring Elsa. No more clues. But yes, I can't wait to do that one as a bauble. Then we found this. Now, my goodness me. This is a 3.5. Now, you might be thinking, what's that bit at the bottom for? That forms the stand. This is, obviously you do this part first. You could use different coloured resins, glitters, mica powders, whatever you like. And then you do this part as well that I've got in my right hand there, and once they've cured, one will fit in the other, so it literally will just go up that like that, and it forms the support for the tree itself. So that would look lovely. Lots of options, as I said, you've got there with that. Look at this. Now this reminds me of the, yeah, the towering tree of Christmas, perhaps. I don't know. Or the, was it the Pisa? It's the Tower of Pisa, isn't it, that leans? I think that's, is it Italy? I think that's Italy. Anyway, so this is actually two different pots with a lid. Well, they're the same pot, but there's like it's a stacking system, and it's in the shape of a tree. Obviously, it will be the other way round when you demold, but there you go. You can see that quite well, quite easily there. It's a shiny interior. It's got a lot of stability there, particularly in the lid as well. When you're, you know, when you're curing it and you've poured your resin in, it's got detail for the snow capped on the branches there and the star in the top. This one will be a fun one to do. A really, really fun thing to make. Now, these, we've got two. There are two types of, I think they're supposed to be bells. This is more, looks more like a Christmas pudding to me, I think. But it's got Merry Christmas written on it. It's got a bow. It's got some berries. They look like berries anyway. It's a bit squishy. It's much thinner silicone, this one, than what we're used to using. Plus, they came with these. Now, that looks like the inside of a bell, which I did Google this because I wasn't sure it was called a clanger. You drop a clanger, mine, or a clapper, but it's actually called a clapper. The inside part of the bell that makes the sound is called the clapper. So yeah, we'll have a go. We'll see what we can make with those. And this is the other shape one, which also has Merry Christmas on it, again with the snow covered part on the top and the bow, but they look beautiful. I'm sure they're going to be fun to make those. Now this mould, I've been trying to get this mould for forever. This isn't necessarily Christmas, but you could have it for Christmas. You could make it using greens, golds, maybe red glitter coloured resins, but it's got a screw like thread in the top and then this lid, and in that is it aperture, or in that little compartment in the top there, because obviously there's not going to be any resin in that bit, you can put a battery operated light or bulb or string lights. So you can then also thread through the top there some beautiful ribbon, maybe some jute string, or some lovely cord, and you can hang them and they will look lovely. Now, moving on, I'm doing these a bit quick actually, trying to keep up. This is a rather lovely shaped mould. I'm not too sure what you'd call this shape, but it reminds me a bit of the spinning tops that, you know, sort of old traditional style children's toys. But there's a lot of detail in there, and it's, you know, it's not very wide. It's not very, well, sorry, not very wide. It's not very deep, and it will look lovely as a hanging decoration on your tree. Now this one, I wasn't sure which way around it was, but Wayne very kindly told me, Laura, the loop goes at the top. So there's a lot of detail in this. There's leaves, there's that loop part. Now that is the part that you would hang over your branch on your Christmas tree, or if you've got a hook on your fireplace. Obviously careful when using resin near heat. Yeah, just go careful. Or it might look lovely actually as part of a decoration on a garland. Now this is the kind of silicone I don't like. It feels jelly-like, and yeah. If you've seen our video where we showed you the hedgehogs, it's made of the same sort of silicone mould as that. But I don't know if it's not picking up very well. There's a cherub. So again, not particularly Christmas themed, but just really liked the idea of having a cherub mould. And it's sort of sitting or lying on what looks like a big sort of fluffy pillow or cushion. Yeah, I'll have to check them out. Check this out on the Temu website just to see what the actual picture of what they created using this mould looks like. But these are actually candle moulds, but you can use them for resin or eco resin. Now these are stunning. Photo or picture frames, very ornate. Again, these are actually a matte finished mould, so they're not going to be shiny. So you'll need to dust them with a very shiny mica, or finish them off perhaps if you're not happy with a matte finish, with a bit of UV resin. But I've got plans for this. So those were those two. There is also another smaller version of that, and I'm not sure if we show you that or not, but anyway, we will move on. So we've just shown you a snowman. Now, I think that's maybe the wrong way round, that one. I think that's two candy... yeah, there we go. Two candy canes there. And here we have Father Christmas, a gingerbread man, a mittens. Do you remember the mittens on the string attached to a length of string through the coat when you were little? And then a stocking. And then you have this round mould. Now, you make this up. You just pour resin in the outer part. Then you make up your lovely little, whichever one of these you're going to do. And then you literally fix one to the other using either some ribbon, some cord, or some jump rings. And then you've got a beautiful moving garland for your, or garland decoration for your tree. Look at this. Polar Express, eat your heart out. This is stunning. Now this one, we were going to use eco resin for, and then you can make a tea light. You can incorporate it as part of a tea light holder. So you then make a tea light holder with either 2 or 3 centers or places to put your tea lights. Use eco resin or Jesmonite if you're going to use a real flame. If you're not, then you can use regular resin and use some battery operated lights. So a similar thing here, but look at this. So this makes a house or a building. It's got so you've got, so that's going to be one of the sides. There's another side. There we are. And then the same thing again, slightly different design. So you make 2 of each with that. So you've got 2 designs in one there. So you make 2 of each of those, and then this is the base. So if you're making 2 of each of those, you're going to have 4 parts. So and then the middle part there with that central disc thing is where you'd put your candle. So if you're going to use Jesmonite, or you can use, or an eco resin, you can use a real flame candle, but obviously please keep an eye on it. If you're going to use regular resin, just use the battery operated. Now this one, I love this mold. It's another carousel. Bit more detail on this one though. It is a pot. So that's the lid, and then this is the base. Now, oh my goodness me, it's very shiny on the inside. It's very, very sturdy, so no worries about collapsing mould when you're doing your resin. Now, I don't know if you can see it very well there. It's a bit shiny, but there's so much detail on this mould. Ooh. So I'm just going to try and turn it inside out and show it to you. You might be able to see it a wee bit better. Just wrestling with the mould a bit there. There we go. So I don't know if you can see that any better. There we go. You can see that slightly better. Look at the horses. Can't wait to use this in a project. And this again, lovely as a gift to somebody, not just for Christmas. Would look fantastic in a or fantastic idea really to give as a baby shower present, gender reveal, perhaps party, to present it to the mum and dad to be, or the mum and mum, or the dad and dad to be. Yeah, would look lovely. Anyway, look at this. Now I have seen the lovely Jules from Resin Jules use this, and I think she called it Starry Night, but I'm calling it the Starry Night pot. Is beautiful. Again, not necessarily Christmas themed, although you could get away with that with the stars and the snowflakey type effect there on the outside, and also on the inside of the mould here, and on the lid. So look at that. You can just about see that. So you could dust those with some gold or silver mica, and then fill it with clear resin, or fill it with white resin, or really whatever, or blue even. Oh gosh, that would look stunning. Maybe sort of bling it up with a bit of glitter perhaps. But yes, gorgeous. So not necessarily Christmas themed, more winter themed perhaps. But again, would make a lovely pot, and you could, as a gift for anyone throughout the year, really. These, again, some of these things we're showing you aren't really just, why should they just be for Christmas? You know, have them all year. Have them all year round. I mean, some people have some of their decorations up all year, you know. But there we go. Again, this is along this mold we're showing you now is along the same sort of theme as one we've shown you before, where you would also then make a tea light holder to hold your tea lights. Same rules as before, really, as far as we're concerned, the guidelines. As you can see, like I'm trying to explain there, that it would stand upright once you've made it, and it would shine through then. So the lights would shine through it, the light of your candles and so on. Now look at these. These are beautiful. The only issue being is there's a lot of detail in very small moulds. So you're going to have to be so careful when you're pouring your resin in. But a lovely collection of snowflakes, all getting gradually bigger. Couldn't get over how many there were, actually, to be honest. They would make lovely decorations on napkin rings as an extra little gift, as a gift tag type thing on presents. You could have it, if you only have a tiny tree, you could make them and put them as hanging decorations on a small tree. Again, they would look just as beautiful decorating you know, some jars, or as part of a centerpiece for a table. And really, to be honest with you, they're just a nice pattern. So why limit it to Christmas? Why do that? I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. Some people have them as charms on bottles and also on wine glasses. That's another thing. But napkin rings would look gorgeous. Or try and incorporate it if you've got a winter-themed wedding as part of maybe a name place card holder. So this one, we had a little package, that's these little bag of, and they're like, what are they? They're little round faux crystal shapes, and they go onto your cured resin piece. If you want to, obviously you don't have to. But so you've got a lid, you've got a base, and you've got a top. So the top there, obviously you attach it to your lid. There we go. So you'd attach it to your lid. But there is a lot of detail. Sorry about all the shininess of the lighting. I'm not quite why this is quite so overexposed here. My apologies for that. But there is a lot of detail on this where it's diagonal lines, and they where they cross through is where you would then put those tiny little round crystals on it if you wanted to. So this reminded us very much of the Fabergé style eggs and things from the Russian Empire that was, you know, a few hundred years ago, and would look beautiful as a gift or as just a display piece in your home. Yeah, lots of different things you could use. You could use mica powders, you could use metallic powders if you want a solid block colour. Again, you could use pigment paste, but glitter. Can you imagine glitter with mica powder? Might have to try that one. So this lovely reindeer. It's gorgeous. Lots of things you could do with that. Again, you could give him a red nose. You could give him a glittery body. You could give him golden hooves. And then don't forget, he's got a little stand that you make that comes with him. And then you've got two little apertures there, two little spaces where you would sink those two down into the bottom of his legs there on his hooves, and just secure them in place either with some contact adhesive or perhaps a bit of UV resin, and he's good to go. So this is very floppy, this mould. Very floppy, little bit stretchy. So make sure that when you work on this one, you're then not going to move it, because you are definitely not going to be able to move this until it's completely cured. But we've got 3 trees at the bottom, and then we've got Santa in his sleigh and a reindeer. And again, this is supposed to be a bit like a plaque type thing that you would hang up maybe. Again, we've got another mould here for a house. So perhaps it's your gingerbread house. So you could, you could colour your resins in the theme of the gingerbread style of house, or not, totally up to you. But again, you've got the square base with the centre part where you'd put your candle, whether it's a real candle or a battery operated. Obviously, real candles only with Jesmonite and Ecopore, battery operated with resin. And you make 2 of the end piece of the front there and 2 of the side pieces and then 2 of the roof pieces. And look at that, love hearts in the roof. Now, there will be holes where the light can shine through, so you can imagine this at night time, just lit up lovely in your room, looking stunning. My goodness me, now this reminded me of a project I saw Claire from Claire's Crafty Corner do. Christmas. I think she did it for part of a Christmas in July collab, perhaps. But stunning, beautiful. Now, I think they're actually PET stickers, but we'll find out when we come to use them. But those are big enough to either put in a tray and then cover with a thin coat of resin, or perhaps in some coasters, perhaps on a backing of gold glitter, green or red. Gold, green and red, I have heard, are the traditional colours for Christmas this year. I must admit, I've not looked in any of the shops, your regular shops that do Christmas decorations, to see if there's a particular colour theme, but that would work lovely with these, as well as if you just wanted to do them on a white background. Now these I have actually just used in a video, which you will see probably sometime after this comes out. These are rather lovely. Now there's loads. I think there's 50 from recollection, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But they're vintage, what I would call vintage style Christmas. They're stickers, and they are stickers. The backs peel off them, and they stick down, and they stick down very well onto cured resin. And in the project I've just done using these, I then put a thin coat of UV resin over the top. Now, these patterns, they don't suddenly stop and start repeating. No one sticker is the same as the other. So lots and lots to choose from. And again, they would look lovely if you could actually use these to decorate homemade Christmas crackers, or molds or baubles, or anything really. Again, trays, central table display pieces, perhaps, vases, jars. I mean, it just goes on and on. And here we have something else that's not mold related, but is winter themed, really, rather than Christmas themed. I'm just going to get them out of the packet. Now they're white, pink, and like a rosy coloured gold. And I don't know if you can make them out very well. I'm going to do the best that we can to show you, although they are quite fiddly, particularly if you're wearing gloves. But they're snowflakes, and as long as you get them the right way round, they're actually quite shiny, although it's not picking up very well on the gold there. But look at those beautiful colours. Beautiful colours. So look lovely. These would look lovely in jewellery, Christmas themed jewellery perhaps, or as additional decorations. Maybe you want to put them on one of your trees, if you've made some trees out of resin or Ecopore, and you want to just bling them up a bit. Now this, you're going to have to forgive me for this, but oh my goodness, I could not turn these down. I know it's not Christmas themed at all, but butterflies, I love butterflies. And these, I just wanted to see, because they're not stickers. They're actual butterflies. That one's actually sticking very well to my glove as well. So there we go. Oh, look at them. Wow. In jewellery, they would look, yes, very good. Really stunning. But look at that. Now they do, I think there's 2 of each colour. There's a couple more colours than this, but they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, those. Really pleased that we got those. Now, I promise you we're almost there, people. I know this is quite a lengthy video. Thanks for joining us for giving us, hopefully you've given us a thumbs up. Drop us a comment, have you already started doing your Christmas crafting and making? What are you making? What sort of things do you think we should use these stickers for? Because these, again, are PET stickers, but look at them. Beautiful. So again, no design is repeated, but they just, you've got all the snowmen together, then you've got all the deer together, you've got all the Santa Clauses together, and they're just saying, make me into coasters, make me into coasters, make me into coasters. So I think that's what we'll probably do with these. Everything that you are showing you in today's video will be linked in the description box below, along with what the price is. Now, we don't currently have a code for money off at Temu, but they're always offering coupons and things. So if you're already somebody that orders through Temu, don't forget to check out and see what your coupons are that you've got. See if you can get a bit of extra discount or maybe a free gift. So this is a rather lovely set of long, fine brushes. Now, these would normally be used in nail art, but if you've got some fine lines or detail that you want to do on any of your projects, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't use these. Obviously, don't use them to paint resin, as in don't dip them in resin, because the brushes it's no good for that. If you want to use acrylic paints, if you want to use metallic paint to create a veining sort of effect, then these are the kind of things to use. So really looking forward to being able to try and use these in maybe an up and coming project. Feeling a bit inspired. Feeling a bit inspired. I've watched a couple of alcohol ink creation videos recently, so we might do that. So here's the first of 3 final of what I call our little beauty shots. Not done in a particularly great background, apologies. This is on our craft space, but this was the biggest space we had, and as it is, we had to change it out 3 times to be able to show you everything. So we're just doing a little bit of a run through of the molds that we've purchased from Temu. Again, this is not a sponsored video by them. They haven't given us any freebies. We just decided that we didn't have enough Christmas themed molds and other things, so we treated ourselves. This is what we got. So we're just showing you here some of the things that we've purchased, and you will see some of these in upcoming videos. Look out soon, because you're gonna see the picture frames, if you remember those. 3 picture frames, and maybe a couple of other things that perhaps you haven't seen in this Temu haul, also coming to you in a video. But if you've watched us today, thanks for watching us. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like it, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you've not subscribed to our channel, why not do so? It's absolutely free. We upload videos 3 times a week, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays at 5 PM UK time. They're normally how-to videos, and we do also take part in a couple of collaborations throughout the year. So I'm going to leave you watching and looking at these lovely molds and other things that we've purchased from Temu. And have a good weekend, everyone, or a good week, depending on when you're watching this. Hope you're all well, and we will see you again very, very soon.